Ladies and gentlemen, our presentation is about discussing whether or not it is convenient to enter in the short-term rental market. We acknowledge that firms are afraid to change their business model because of the risk involved to jeopardize value. Fortunately, the list of experiences is large, and we can see in this graph that these companies sometimes need to challenge their business model to increase their profits. After optimizing the rental rates and considering the regional parameters proposed by the project management, we can see in the upper side of the dashboard that you can obtain $1.3 million in profits at the conversion year and 1.1 beyond that year. A similar amount of positive cash flows can be gotten, but at the conversion year, the cash generated just would reach 389,000. In this scenario, we see on the map that only 41 properties would be converted to surpass the threshold. Out of those 41, 27 are in the southern states. As you see in these bars, 23 of them correspond to the house type in the states of California, Florida, and Texas. Those other states' properties, and more specifically houses, represent $852,000 out of $1.1 million in yearly profits after the conversion year. When using a dynamic dashboard, we can get different scenarios described in the white paper. However, we have concentrated on a specific one in which we can focus on controllable parameters, heading to maximize profits and cash flows without increasing risk levels. When managing 3 of those 8 parameters in our scenario, we can see the effect of each of the following. First, if we change the original parameters, we can see when reducing the service fee in 5% by negotiating with the website providers, profits would reach $1.5 million profit, or an increase of 32%. The firm would take advantage of a better negotiation power because the market has increased the offer of websites such as HomeAway and Booking.com. The second largest factor which affects the profitability of this project is the hospitality charges, which was originally assumed $100 cost per visit. However, if it can be managed to obtain a 50% reduction, profits would reach $1.4 million, or an increase of 28% after the conversion year. Besides, the number of profitable properties would increase in 50%. You should also be aware that most of the profitable properties in the south of the country share common zip codes, which may facilitate a cost reduction due to the logistic savings and might help obtaining a reduced cleaning cost. Finally, the latest parameter which would help increasing profitability in the long term is the duration of stay per visit. The longer the duration, the larger the profits. Consequently, if considering a feasible scenario, we can change the assumption in the dashboard, moving the original one from 3 to 5 days. Thus, you can obtain a profit of $1.3 million, or 21%. In terms of properties, their number would increase 41% as seen in the dashboard. To reach this number, some marketing efforts and campaigns can be crafted, which would be approached in a further stage of this project. If we manage those 3 parameters simultaneously, both the number of profitable properties and profits can be nearly duplicated. However, due to the budget constraints, on an initial investment of $500,000 without doubt, this investment should be focused on locations with the highest number of profitable properties. There are consistently Miami, Austin, and San Diego throughout this model. And finally, the cash flow generated after the conversion year in our proposed scenario will reach approximately $2.5 million per year. In conclusion, by focusing on profitable properties of the southern region, and specifically houses, would let the company reach an 80% of additional profits if comparing to the original scenario. However, in order to reach this target, the firm can start changing the business model to short-term rentals and lease in this region to act under budget constraints. Thanks for your attention.